Bible study of Matthew chapter 13, verses 24 through 30, the parable of the wheat and the weeds. Another parable he put forth to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. The man is Jesus. The good seed is his original apostles and disciples. The field is all the places in the world where Jesus sent his apostles and disciples to deliver the good news. Matthew 13:25. But while men were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds also among the wheat and went away. The men who were sleeping were the leaders of the church, who eventually allowed an enemy to become the head of the church. Circa 218 AD, Calixtus became the Bishop of Rome. Calixtus, as a young man, had been put in charge of collected funds which were given as alms by other Christians for the care of widows and orphans. Calixtus, however, made away with all the monies committed to him. Calixtus eventually was a prisoner in a Roman salt mine due to his crimes. After a Roman persecution of Christians ended, a leader of the church was sent to liberate Christians who were enslaved in the salt mine. Calixtus' name was not on the list of those requested to be released. Calixtus begged for his life, and the Christian emissary asked the Roman guards if they would also release Calixtus. Permission was granted. Calixtus was given a job in the Christian cemetery in Rome. While there, he ingratiated himself through flattery to Zephyrinus, the Bishop of Rome. Zephyrinus, acting like a person who was asleep, named Calixtus as his successor. After becoming the head of the church, Calixtus invented the concept of indulgences in sensual pleasures, saying that all had their sins forgiven by himself. Calixtus held the opinion that if a bishop was guilty of any sin, if even a sin unto death, see 1 John 5:16, he ought not to be deposed. Calixtus permitted such a one to continue in holy orders as if he had not sinned. Calixtus cited Matthew 13:30, let the tares grow along with the wheat. So Matthew 13:26, so when the plants sprouted and bore grain, then the weeds appeared also. So when the members of the congregation produced alms like wheat producing grain, those who followed Calixtus continued in their sins, just like weeds. And the servants of the householder came and said to him, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then has it weeds? Those who followed Christ asked how it could be that the weeds like Calixtus were allowed to remain in the church. Matthew 13:28. He said to them, an enemy has done this. The servant said to him, then do you want us to go and gather them up? Christ prophesied that an enemy, Calixtus, would corrupt the church. Matthew 13:29. But he said, no, lest while you gather up the weeds, you also root up the wheat with them. The enemies of Christ who followed Calixtus were allowed to remain, lest the followers of Christ be uprooted with the followers of Calixtus. Matthew 13:30, let both grow together until the harvest. And at harvest time I will tell the reapers, gather the weeds first and bind them in bundles to be burned. Those who followed Calixtus and his indulgences will be burned. Matthew 13:30, but gather the wheat into my barn. Those who remain faithful to Christ will go to his Father's house. Bible study, Matthew 13:24 through 30, the parable of the wheat and the weeds.